Gabriel was becoming increasingly intrigued by the disappearance of one of his watches. His suspicion toward the staff, particularly the new maid Anna, grew stronger by the day. To unravel the mystery, he decided to discreetly install a camera focused on a safe that he purposely left open. What Gabriel discovered while watching the footage was something he could never have imagined. Since his youth, Gabriel had stood out in the business world. His natural talent for numbers and strategies had allowed him to carve a space in the corporate universe with remarkable ease. By the age of 45, he was already commanding a vast business empire spanning various economic sectors. His office, located on the top floor of a skyscraper in the city's financial district, was a true symbol of his influence and success. However, this achievement came at a high cost. Gabriel lived alone, and his routine was dominated by grueling hours of work, endless meetings, and corporate travels. Despite his mansion being filled with works of art and exclusive designer furniture, the atmosphere reflected an emptiness and coldness that mirrored his personal life. Maria, Gabriel's mother, was an elegant 73-year-old lady. Although time had left its marks on her face, she still retained traces of classic beauty and the charm that had once distinguished her in high society. Her neatly styled gray hair framed a countenance that seemed weighed down by constant melancholy and confusion. During Gabriel's childhood and teenage years, their relationship was warm and close. Maria was a loving mother who closely followed her son's achievements and struggles. However, everything changed with the sudden death of Gabriel's father 10 years ago. The patriarch's absence left a vacuum in the family business's leadership. Maria believed that, after years of assisting her husband in business decisions, she was prepared to take charge. Gabriel, however, already established in his career as an executive, saw an opportunity to modernize and expand the company. This clash of ideas led to disagreements. While Maria advocated for preserving traditions, Gabriel proposed drastic changes. The conflict came to a head during a shareholders' meeting, where Gabriel managed to oust his mother from leadership. From that point on, their relationship deteriorated. Gabriel's visits to Maria's home became rare until they stopped altogether, and their once lively conversations were replaced by brief phone calls limited to special occasions like birthdays and Christmas. It was in this context that Anna entered Maria's life. Of humble origins and already in middle age, Anna was hired as a housekeeper but quickly became a sort of companion to the elderly woman. With a kind face framed by brown hair always tied in a simple bun, Anna exuded serenity and warmth. Her hands, calloused from hard work, also revealed care and gentleness, while her brown eyes radiated a kindness that immediately won Maria over. Over time, Anna became more than just an employee. She turned into Maria's confidant, patiently listening to her stories about better days, reminding her to take her medication, and accompanying her on walks through the garden. More than that, Anna became the family that Maria no longer had nearby. The already fragile situation reached a critical point when Maria disappeared for 2 days. The police were called, searches were conducted, and anguish consumed everyone who knew the elderly woman. When she was finally found, Maria was disoriented, wandering through a park miles from her home. The incident was a clear sign that something was wrong. After a series of medical exams, the diagnosis came: early signs of dementia. Doctors recommended that Maria live in a more controlled environment and receive constant care. Despite his initial reluctance, Gabriel realized he couldn't turn his back on his mother during such a delicate moment. Caught between guilt and apprehension, he decided to bring her to live in his mansion. The transition was challenging. Deeply attached to her old home and the memories it held, Maria resisted. She only agreed to the move with the guarantee that Anna would accompany her. The first days in Gabriel's mansion were tense. Maria preferred to stay in her room, coming out only for meals. Gabriel, in turn, kept his distance, retreating to his office whenever he was home. Meals were particularly uncomfortable, marked by silence. with only the sound of utensils breaking the stillness. Anna, ever attentive, did her best to ease the tension with smiles and attempts at light conversation. But slowly, something began to change. Perhaps it was time or the physical proximity forced by their new routine, but Gabriel and Maria started to reconnect. It began with small gestures. A warmer good morning in the morning, a casual comment during lunch, or a sincere question about the day at dinner. Gradually, these tentative interactions grew into longer and more frequent conversations. One afternoon, Gabriel came home early and found Maria in the garden. She was sitting on a bench, gazing at the flowers with a distant look. Without much thought, Gabriel joined her. "They're beautiful, aren't they?" he said, gesturing toward the roses. Maria seemed surprised by her son's presence, but a soft smile soon appeared on her face. "Yes, they are. Your father loved roses. Do you remember?" That simple exchange of words opened a portal to long-buried memories. The conversation flowed naturally, and both allowed themselves to recall happy moments from the past. Gabriel realized how much he missed these moments with his mother. From that day on, it became common to see them together in the garden in the late afternoon. Sometimes they talked, and other times, they simply enjoyed the comfort of each other's company, slowly rebuilding a bond that had seemed impossible not long ago. Meals, once marked by uncomfortable silences, became lighter and more pleasant. Conversations flowed naturally, and even occasional laughter began to fill the air. Anna observed these changes with relief and satisfaction, happy to witness the reconciliation between mother and son. A significant moment occurred on a Sunday night. Gabriel, in a rare occurrence, spent the entire day at home. That evening, he and Maria were in the living room watching a classic film they both enjoyed. Suddenly, Maria leaned over and wrapped Gabriel in an unexpected hug. Startled, he froze for a moment but soon relaxed and returned the gesture. It was a moment of genuine connection, a silent reconciliation after years of estrangement. When they let go, both had tears in their eyes, as if they had finally found a new balance. The atmosphere in the house began to change. It became warmer, more welcoming, and more like a true home. Gabriel even started spending less time at the office, preferring to spend hours by his mother's side. However, this newfound harmony was soon threatened by an unexpected event. One day, Gabriel noticed that one of his most valuable watches had gone missing. It was a rare piece he had purchased to celebrate an important milestone in his career. Troubled, he gathered all the household staff, the driver, the gardener, the cook, and of course Anna, to ask if anyone had seen anything suspicious. Although everyone denied any involvement, the situation left Gabriel uneasy. He didn't want to accuse anyone without evidence, but the watch held great sentimental value, and its disappearance couldn't be ignored. The next morning, as he was preparing to leave, Gabriel crossed paths with Anna leaving his room. She seemed visibly startled but quickly tried to compose herself. "Excuse me, Mr. Gabriel," she said, her voice slightly trembling. "I was just putting away your freshly ironed clothes." Gabriel nodded but couldn't overlook the nervousness in her expression. Puzzled, he went to the spot where he kept his watches. To his surprise, the missing watch was exactly where it should be. The situation only deepened his confusion. How could something that had disappeared reappear so suddenly? And why had Anna seemed so uneasy? Questions began forming in Gabriel's mind. Could Anna be less trustworthy than she appeared? Determined to uncover the truth, he decided to take action. In his room, Gabriel had a safe where he stored sentimental valuables and important documents. Usually locked, he deliberately left the door slightly ajar before leaving for work. Additionally, he discreetly positioned a hidden camera among the books on his shelf, aimed at the safe. He was determined to solve the mystery and find out if someone was indeed tampering with his belongings. The day at the office felt endless, but as soon as Gabriel returned to the mansion, he went straight to his room. At first glance, everything was in its place, including the safe, which he had left slightly open. However, upon closer inspection, it was evident that the items inside had been disturbed. Some objects were out of position, while others seemed to have been moved and then replaced. With his heart racing, Gabriel retrieved the hidden camera and went to his office to review the footage. What he saw left him in shock. The first person to enter the room was his mother, Maria. She appeared disoriented, looking around as if the space were unfamiliar to her. Upon noticing the safe, she slowly approached it, her hands trembling. Maria rummaged through the contents, taking items out and putting them back, all while wearing an expression of confusion. Tears welled up in Gabriel's eyes. There was no malice or theft, only the visible effects of the dementia afflicting his mother. It was clear that Maria wasn't fully aware of her actions. Shortly after she left, Anna entered the room, softly calling out for Maria. Seeing the open safe and the disorganized items, she quickly rearranged everything, leaving no trace behind. It became evident that Anna was aware of Maria's condition and was doing her best to protect her. Gabriel was overwhelmed with shame and guilt. How could he have doubted Anna, who had devoted so much care to his mother? Even more so, how had he not noticed the progression of Maria's illness? Determined to correct his mistakes, he called Anna to his office. With humility, he apologized for doubting her and deeply thanked her for everything she was doing for his mother. He promised that, from that moment on, she would no longer be alone in this responsibility. In the following days, the mansion underwent significant changes. Gabriel hired a medical team to assess Maria and provide the best possible treatment. He established a daily routine with activities designed to stimulate her memory and ensure her well-being. He also brought in additional support to ease Anna's workload. Anna continued caring for Maria with the same dedication as always, but now with the support of a team. Gabriel, who had previously been distant and solely focused on his business, began to take a more active role in his mother's care. Meals became lively moments, filled with conversation and laughter. The afternoons in the garden became a cherished tradition between mother and son. Even the other staff members noticed the change in the atmosphere, which had become more welcoming and full of life. During these weeks, Gabriel learned valuable lessons. He realized that the true value of life is not found in material possessions or professional achievements, but in relationships and the love shared. He began to appreciate the small moments of everyday life, recognizing in them the true essence of happiness. Maria, for her part, although her memories were fading, seemed more at peace. She found comfort in Gabriel's constant presence and in Anna's loving care. As for Anna, she was no longer seen merely as an employee. She became an essential figure in the family's life, earning the respect and gratitude of everyone. This story is a testament to the transformative power of love, empathy, and forgiveness. It's a reminder that, even in the most difficult times, there is always room for hope and reconciliation. After all that is needed is an open heart and a mind willing to learn. If the story touched you, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, check out the next story on your screen. It promises to move you.